Hello students, today we are going to start the last part of this chapter, life process excretion. So excretion means not all the substances in our body are useful. So some byproducts are formed during various reactions in the body, during various processes in the body, and those byproducts or wasteful substances has to be removed from the body from time to time for healthy functioning of the body. So through the process of excretion, we eliminate those waste or toxic substances from our body. The process of removal of toxic wastes from the body of an organism is called excretion, and this excretion process, it takes place both in plants as well as in animals. So let's see how excretion takes place in plants. So the main waste products produced by plants are carbon dioxide, water vapor and oxygen. So these are the three main products, waste products which are produced by the plant. So carbon dioxide is produced during what? Respiration. So plants also, in plants also respiration takes place for release of energy from glucose. So that time carbon dioxide is produced as waste products, and water vapor is also produced as waste products during respiration. Next, during photosynthesis, what happens? The plant produces glucose from carbon dioxide and water with the help of sunlight energy and chlorophyll. So that oxygen, some part of this oxygen is utilized by the plant for their respiration process, and some part is given out by the stomata which is present in the leaves, and that is also a waste products of plant. Okay, so gaseous substances in plants are removed through stomata in leaves and lenticels in stems. Through stomata and lenticels, these gaseous substances are removed, and water vapor is removed through the process of transpiration. It also takes place through the stomata in the leaves. Okay, and transpiration means, transpiration I have already explained, no? The process of removal of water in the form of vapors from the leaves is known as transpiration. Then some plants stored the waste products in their body parts. So some of the waste products, these are also stored in the body parts, different body parts of plants, such as leaves, bark, their outer covering of the stem, which is called the bark, and in the fruits. So plants get rid of this wastage by shedding their leaves from time to time. You can see the plants, they shed their leaves from time to time. Peeling of the bark in the stems, the trees, the big trees, they change their outer covering, which is called the bark, from time to time. The old bark falls and new bark grows in its place. Then felling of fruits. So in some fruits also, some waste products may get uh, accumulated, which is harmful for the plants, but not for the uh, for us, we can consume it. So some of the plants wastes get stored in the fruits of the plant in the form of solid bodies called raphides. Have you seen pineapple? In pineapple, some crystal like spine like structures are there over the body of the pineapple fruit. Needle shaped structures, fine like this, needle shaped structures are there. So these structures are known as what? These structures are known as, we call them as raphides, and this is removed when the fruits get detached from the plant. When the fruits, they are removed from the plant, these raphides are also removed from the plant. Okay. Next, some plants get rid of wastes by secreting them in the form of gums and resins. So you can see through some plants, gums and resins are secreted from time to time, such as rubber plant, we can say. So this rubber, the liquid part of the rubber, which is collected in a ball, which is tied to the rubber tree, so that rubber is a excretory product of a rubber plant. Okay. Some plants also secrete some waste substances into the soil around them. So some plants, they secrete the waste substances through with the help of the roots into the surrounding soil. So these are some of the methods through which the plants get rid of their waste products. So let's see in case of animals. So different animals have different organs for excretion. The method of excretion is different for different animals. So amoeba, in unicellular animals such as amoeba, the waste material is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is produced during respiration in amoeba and it is removed by diffusion through the cell membrane. So amoeba, it is a what? It lives in water and it takes in food by forming a food vacuole. That food vacuole, after entering into the body of the amoeba, into the cell of the amoeba, the outer membrane of the food vacuole bursts and the food particles is released and absorbed and digested in the body of the amoeba. Then after digestion, respiration will take place to release energy from that food. So through that process of respiration, carbon dioxide will be produced and it has to be removed, and it is removed through the process of diffusion. Now diffusion means movement of molecules, gaseous or liquid molecules, from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. So after respiration, CO2, high amount of CO2 will be accumulated into the body of amoeba, and the amount of or concentration of carbon dioxide inside the body of amoeba will be more than that of the outside. So now diffusion process will take place. Diffusion means movement of gaseous or liquid molecules from a region of high concentration inside the body of amoeba to a region of low concentration outside. So through diffusion, amoeba can get rid of carbon dioxide. But nitrogenous wastes, there are also some nitrogenous wastes like ammonia and excess water are removed through the contractile vacuole. So some contractile vacuoles are formed inside the amoeba, and through those contractile vacuole means the vacuoles can contract, okay, and through their contraction, these nitrogenous wastes like ammonia and excess water, these are removed from the body of amoeba. Next, earthworm. Earthworm has some specific organ for excretion. In earthworm, tubular structures called nephridia. So nephridia is also found. No, it's nephron. It's different in humans. So in earthworm, the tubular structures called nephridia are the excretory organs. So this, remember, short questions. The excretory organ of earthworm is nephridia. The moist skin of the earthworm also acts as excretory organ. The skin of an earthworm, if you notice, it always keeps in moist state, because through the skin, they give out the carbon dioxide through their skins, and those other nitrogenous wastes they give out through nephridia. Then humans, the excretory system in humans is highly specialized and highly developed. So in this chapter, this main emphasis is been given to excretory system in humans. Human beings' microscopic thin tubules form nephron, which function as excretory unit. So you see, this is the we'll see in details later. So this is the structure of a kidney. This is one part, and this in transverse section, if we see, then inside there is one excretory unit, we can say. There are some structures, and first one is known as this one, Bowman's capsule, and second one some tube-like structures. We call it as tubule. We'll study it later in details. And these two structures, Bowman's capsule, this capsule-like structure, okay, this Bowman's capsule and this tubule, both together are known as nephron. And nephron is the structural or excretory unit in human. About 1 million nephrons taken together form the excretory organ of the human beings called kidney. So here only one nephron is shown just for the sake of our understanding, but how many such nephrons are there in the kidneys? We have two kidneys, so about 1 million. Okay, so these are very microscopic structures, these have very small size. So 1 million nephrons are there inside the kidneys for filtering the wasteful substances from the blood. रिमूवल ऑफ वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट्स इन ह्यूमन. सो ह्यूमन बींग्स में जनरली वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट्स क्या क्या होते हैं? मेजर वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट्स कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड यूरिया. सो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज प्रोड्यूस्ड एज वेस्ट ड्यूरिंग रेस्पिरेशन. सो रेस्पिरेशन प्रोसेस के वक्त कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस होते हैं एंड यूरिया इज प्रोड्यूस्ड एज ए waste by the decomposition of unused proteins in the liver. So urea is also a byproduct. So हमारे बॉडी में जितना भी unused protein स्टोर रहेगा in the liver, the proteins which we have consumed, some part of it will be utilized by our body for our body growth and muscle building and maintenance. The other unused proteins, it will be stored in the liver, and it cannot be stored in the liver for a long time because it will get accumulated in the liver. Then it has to be removed from time to time. Okay, so the unused proteins, they convert into another form, they convert into a waste substance that is not now needed by the body, a nitrogenous waste substance which we call it urea, and it has to be removed from time to time. So how we remove carbon dioxide? Through our lungs. Our lungs excrete carbon dioxide and the kidneys excrete urea. The urea is filtered and removed through our kidneys. And explain the structure and function of the human excretory system. So let us first understand the structure of the human excretory system. So you see here, the excretory system of human beings consists of the following main organs. So this is the outline of the excretory system of human beings. We have two kidneys, okay, two ureters. These are tube-like structures which are connected to the kidney, and the ureter carries what? Urine. It carries the urine from the kidneys, and urine will contain the excess liquid which is not required by our body, the excess water, some dissolved salts which is not required by our body, then urea. So they all together they form urine, and this urine is transported from kidney to another organ known as urinary bladder through this duct or tube known as ureter. Bladder and urethra. So then the urine will be stored temporarily in the urinary bladder for some time, and when pressure comes, it will be given out through the or eliminated from the body through the urethra. So the human excretory system is same in case of both male and female, but the organs of excretion are different, but the system is same. Next, kidney. Let us study in details about kidney. So this is the structure of kidney. The kidneys are bean-shaped organ. Have you seen bean? So just like the shape of a bean, the shape of a kidney is. We have, every person has two kidneys, you know these things. The blood in our body is constantly filtered through our kidneys. So kidney, what it does, it filters our blood constantly. Okay, the renal artery brings in the dirty blood into the kidneys. So this is the renal artery. Dirty blood means the blood which will contain toxic substances or waste substances such as urea, unwanted salts, excess of water in the blood, because this water part of the blood is known as what? Plasma. So that if more, so 100% of the water which we drink is not needed by the body, so rest of the water, it flows through blood and it is filtered through the kidneys. So in this way our kidney constantly filters our blood, and it keeps and cleans our blood from harmful substances such as urea, unwanted salts, and excess of water. So there are two ducts or tube-like structures. From one duct blood will come, blood will be filtered in the kidneys, and from another duct pure blood or clean blood will be again sent to the body, and it will again go to the heart. It will again be oxygenated, added with oxygen in the lungs, and it will be again pumped through the heart to different organs of the body. So this process, in this way, it continues. So the renal artery brings in the dirty blood into the kidneys. So there are two ducts which are connected to the kidney. First duct is the renal artery, and second duct is the renal vein. So renal artery, what it does, it brings the dirty blood from different parts of our body into the kidneys for filtering. The function of the kidney is to remove poisonous substances like urea and the other waste salts and excess water from the blood and excrete them in the form of a yellowish liquid called urine. And the kidney, after filtering these substances, they convert into a yellowish liquid substance. We call it as urine. Okay, and after the blood has been cleaned in the nephron, so blood is cleaned in the nephron and this glomerulus will study. So clean blood will be again sent through this renal vein into our heart. The clean blood is carried away by the kidneys, from the kidneys by the renal vein. Okay, then ureters. Next you see the ureters, one from each kidney. You see here the ureters, one from each kidney, opens into the urinary bladder. So this is the urinary bladder. So this is a duct or tube-like structures arising from the kidney, which we call as ureter, and it opens in urinary bladder. So ureters are the tubes which carry urine. Ureters से क्या pass होता है? Urine is passed from the kidney through ureter to the urinary bladder. Okay. Then bladder. Urine is stored in the bladder. So main function of urinary bladder is to store the urine, and it is a bag-like structures, and it also has a definite capacity. If it's filled more with the urine, we need to immediately get rid of it. So when pressure comes, that urine, it passes through the urethra. So next, another tube-like structure is called urethra. It is connected to the urinary bladder. The urine which is collected in the urinary bladder, it is passed out from time to time through the urethra. Clear? So this was the structure of the kidney. Next, okay, structure and function of human excretory system. Now let us study in details the structure of a kidney. What is the internal structure about the nephron, how this blood is filtered. So each kidney is made up of a large number of excretory units called nephron. So these two substances you see, so in a nephron, this capsule like structure, we call it as Bowman's capsule. Inside this Bowman's capsule, some highly coiled rounded blood capillaries are present, which we call as glomerulus, and a tube is connected to the Bowman's capsule, which we call the tubule. Okay, some blood vessels again arises from this glomerulus, and it gets coiled around the tubule, and it is connected to the renal vein. Okay, so this Bowman's capsule and this tubule along with this glomerulus, we call it as nephron. The nephron has a cup-shaped bag at its upper end, which is called Bowman's capsule. So this cup-shaped structure in the upper part of the nephron, we call it as Bowman's capsule. The lower end of a Bowman's capsule is a tube-shaped. Lower end is tube-shaped, and we call it as tubule. The Bowman's capsule and the tubule taken together make a nephron. So this Bowman's capsule and tubule together they form nephron. So one end of the tubule is connected to the, so one end of this tubule, it is connected to the Bowman's capsule, and the other end is connected to a urine collecting duct in the kidney. So the urine which will be formed in the tubule, there will be another duct, okay, through which that urine will be sent to the ureter. So we call it as urine collecting duct. So यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक ही नेफ्रॉन शो किया गया हुआ है, because as we have already studied, there are more than 1 million nephron in the kidneys. So it's not possible for the detailed study. For the sake of our study, only one nephron is shown here. Next, the Bowman's capsule contains a bundle of blood capillaries which is called glomerulus. So this round structure, it contains a bundle of blood capillaries, fine blood capillaries, we call it as glomerulus, and one end of the glomerulus is attached to the renal artery. One end is, this is the glomerulus, इसका एक पोर्शन किसके साथ कनेक्ट है, रेनल आर्टरी के साथ, okay, and another portion, one end of the glomerulus is attached to the renal artery, which brings the dirty blood containing urea waste into it, and through this connection with the renal artery, the dirty blood which will come from the renal artery, it will enter into this glomerulus, okay, and one end, the other end of the glomerulus comes out of the Bowman's capsule as a blood capillary. So the other end, it comes out as a it comes out from the Bowman's capsule as blood capillary, and it surrounds the, it gets coiled around the tubule of the nephron. There is some reason, we'll discuss it, and finally joins a renal vein, and finally this blood capillary which arises from the glomerulus and gets coiled in the tubule and ends up in another duct or pipe-like structure, we call it as renal vein. And through this renal vein, clean blood is sent to the different part of our body. Now, what is the function of glomerulus? The function of glomerulus is to filter the blood passing through it. So, glomerulus का main function यही है, blood को filter करना, to keep the useful substances in the blood and to eliminate the harmful or toxic substances from the blood. Only small molecules of substances present in blood like glucose, amino acids, urea and water passes through the glomerulus. The large molecules like proteins and blood cells cannot pass through the glomerulus and hence remain behind in the blood. So the molecules which are small in size, such as glucose, amino acid, different salts and urea and water, it can pass through this glomerulus. And the other large molecules, such as some proteins and blood cells, they cannot pass through this glomerulus, so they remain in this the blood in the renal artery. They cannot pass through this glomerulus. Next, the function of tubules of nephron. What is the function of tubule? The function of tubule of nephron is to allow selective reabsorption of the useful substances like glucose, amino acid, salts and water into the blood capillaries which surround it. But the waste materials like urea remains behind in the tubule. It does not get reabsorbed into the blood capillaries. So after filtration through the glomerulus, selective reabsorption means absorption of some useful substances will take place through this tubule. So which substances will be again absorbed into this blood capillaries, which is surround this coiled blood capillaries? Substances such as glucose, amino acids, salts, and water. These will be reabsorbed into these blood capillaries, as these are useful substances, and this will be again sent back to the blood through these capillaries. So clean blood will again flow from this renal vein. But the urea, waste materials like urea, it will be remain behind in the tubule, and it will not be reabsorbed into these blood capillaries. So the urea which will remain behind in the tubule, it will form urine, and it will through this urine collecting duct, it will reach the ureter, and through urethra, urinary bladder and urethra, it will be eliminated from the body. Now let us study in details how the kidney filters the blood. The dirty blood containing wastes like urea brought by renal artery enters into the glomerulus. First, this dirty blood which contains wastes like urea and other some waste salts, it will be brought by renal artery into the uh, glomerulus. First glomerulus पे आएगा. Next क्या होगा? The glomerulus filters this blood. The glomerulus will filter the blood, and during filtration what will happen? Substances like glucose, amino acids, salts, water, and urea present in the blood passes into the Bowman's capsule and then enter the tubule of nephron. So during filtration, glucose, amino acid, salts, water, and urea which is present into the blood, it will pass into the Bowman's capsule, and then it will enter the tubule of the nephron. First Bowman's capsule में enter होगा, and then it will enter this tubule of the nephron. From glomerulus it will enter the Bowman's capsule, and from Bowman's capsule it will enter the tubule. When the filtrate containing useful substances as well as the waste substances. Now when this filtrate which is still containing the useful substances along with the waste substances, it will pass through this tubule, then the useful substances like glucose, amino acid, and most salts and water are reabsorbed into the blood through blood capillaries surrounding the tubule. Now some blood capillaries are which are arising from the glomerulus, it is surrounding this tubule. Now which are the useful substances such as amino acid, glucose, most of the useful salts, and most of the water, it will be again absorbed, reabsorbed through these blood capillaries, and it will be again sent to the blood. Okay, and this clean blood will be supplied to the body again. Next what will happen? The waste substances like urea, some unwanted salts, and excess water, जितना वाटर चाहिए उतना एब्जॉर्ब कर लेगा, जितना रह जाएगा, that excess water along with urea and some unwanted salts, they remain behind in the tubule. They will not be reabsorbed through these capillaries, and they will remain behind in the tubule, and the liquid which is left in the tubule of the nephron is the urine. जो liquid रह जाएगा उसी को हम urine बोलेंगे. Okay, which is yellowish in color. The tubule of nephron carries this urine to the collecting duct. So this tubule will carry this urine to the urine collecting duct, and from this urine collecting duct it will be carried to the ureter. Ureter से it, from ureter the urine will pass to the urinary bladder, and urine will be stored in the urinary bladder temporarily, and it will be ultimately passed out from the body through the urethra. So in this way blood is filtered in the kidney. So now, as we know, the function of the kidney is to filter the blood. In the sense of filter, what it does, it eliminates urea, excess water, and unwanted salts. So in case of kidney failure, the kidney won't be able to do its job 100% efficiently, and thus these substances, toxic substances will not be completely eliminated from the body, so they will keep on accumulating in the body, which will be harmful for us. No, now in case of kidney failure कब हो सकता है? Injury to the kidney, high blood pressure, high blood sugar और restricted blood flow to the kidneys. अगर किडनी फिल्टर कब कर रहा है? जब ब्लड फ्लो कर रहा है किडनी में, अगर if somehow less amount of blood flows through the kidneys, or if the blood stops flowing through the kidney, then kidney won't be able to filter this blood, and these waste substances will be accumulated. So in this case, complete failure of the kidneys allows urea and other waste products to build up in the blood, so the body won't be able to eliminate these substances in case of kidney failure. So the best long-term solution for kidney failure is kidney transplant. To transplant or change the damaged kidney with a healthy kidney, that is known as kidney transplant. The patient may also be treated with periodically on a kidney machine procedure called dialysis. So the function which is carried out by kidney, same function can be carried out by a machine also. So this is a dialyzing machine. So same function may be done with the help of a machine also, and the patient need to be treated from time to time periodically, and through this machine the waste substances such as urea and other excess water, this will be eliminated, and again clean blood will flow through this machine into the human body. So this is known as dialysis. So next, dialysis. The blood of a person having kidney failure can be cleaned regularly by using a kidney machine or a dialysis machine. So this machine which performs the function of a kidney, and it cleans our blood, we can call it as dialyzer machine. And the procedure for cleaning blood for a person, separating the waste substances from it, is called dialysis. And this procedure of cleaning blood in which the waste substances such as urea and excess water and some other salts are separated from the body is known as dialysis. So in dialysis, what will happen? So there will be two connections which will be made through the arteries and veins in the human body. So artery से क्या होगा? जो dirty blood है, it will flow through this dialyzing machine. In dialyzing machine, some arrangements are there which will clean up urea from the blood, excess salts and excess water from the blood. So after cleaning up this, again through that clean blood will be again sent into the person through the vein. Another connection will be made through the vein, through which the clean blood will flow to the heart again. Okay, so in this way, in the absence of kidney also, a person may survive up to some extent. So the machine cannot perform the full function of a normal organ. Okay, up to some extent it can do the job of a kidney. So this was all about how excretion takes place both in plants and in animals. So main emphasis you should give to the structure of the kidney, the excretory system in humans, okay, the steps of excretion in humans, how excretion takes place in different animals, mode of excretion in different animals, and how excretion takes place in different plants. Short questions will be asked from this part, and long questions you can expect from this section. Explain the working of kidney, how blood is cleaned in the glomerulus, what is the function of nephron. So these things may be asked, so just keep on studying. So thank you, have a good day.